Hi students, I'm Praveen Sebastian Paul. In this lecture, we are discussing the code coverage techniques in white box or glass box testing methods. The code coverage is a measure which describes the degree of which the source code of the program has been tested. It is one form of white box testing which finds the area of the program not exercised by a set of test cases. It also creates some test cases to increase the coverage and determining the quantitative measures of a code coverage. In most cases, code coverage system gather information about the running program. It also combines that which source code information to generate a report about the test suite code coverage. The code coverage testing is determining how much code is being tested. It can be calculated using the formula code coverage is equal to number of lines of the code exercised divided by total number of lines of the code into 100%. The following are the types of code coverage analysis. They are the statement coverage and block coverage. Second one is the function coverage. Third one is function call coverage. Fourth one is branch coverage, and fifth one is modified condition or modified decision coverage. Here are some prime reasons for using the code coverage. The code coverage helps you to measure the efficiency of the test implementation, and it offers a quantitative measurement, and it defines the degree to which the source code has been tested. The following are the major code coverage methods. They are the statement coverage, decision coverage, branch coverage, toggle coverage, and FSM coverage. When it comes to the comparison between the code coverage and functional coverage, the code coverage tells how well the source code has been exercised by our test team. While in the functional coverage measures how well the functionality of the design and has been covered by our test team. The code coverage is done by the developer and never uses the design specification, while the functional coverage is done by the tester and uses the design specifications. The different advantages of using code coverage are: it is helpful to evaluate a quantitative measure of code coverage. It allows you to create extra test case to increase the coverage, and it allows to find the area of the program which is not exercised by a set of test cases. The major disadvantages of using the code coverage are: even when any specific feature is not implemented in design, code coverage still report 100% coverage. It is not possible to determine whether we tested all possible values of a feature with the help of code coverage. Code coverage is also not telling how much and how well we have covered our logic. In the case when the specified function hasn't implemented or not included from the specification, then the structure-based technique cannot find that particular issue. So these are major disadvantages of code coverage technique. So as we discussed in this lecture, the code coverage is a measure which describes the degree of which the source code of the program has been tested, and it is implemented to measure the efficiency of the test implementation. The different 5 coverage mechanisms are statement coverage, condition coverage, branch coverage, toggle coverage, and FSM coverage. The statement coverage involves the execution of all the executable statements in the source code at least once. And when it comes to the decision coverage reports the true or false outcomes of each Boolean expression. In the branch coverage, every outcome from a code module is tested. The conditional will reveal how the variable or sub-expression in the conditional statements are evaluated. Finite state machine coverage or FSM coverage is certainly the most complex type of code coverage method. In order to select the coverage method, the tester need to check the cost of the potential penalty lost reputation, lost sale, etc. The code coverage tell how well the source code has been exercised by our test bench, while the functional coverage measures how well the functionality of the design has been covered. As well as the code coverage does not help to determine whether we tested all possible values of a particular feature. So these are the different aspects of code coverage. So dear students, in the upcoming lecture we will discuss the different major code coverage methods, that is statement coverage, decision coverage, branch coverage and toggle coverage. So dear students, kindly go through this assignment question. The assignment question is write in detail about the code coverage as well as the advantages and disadvantages of code coverage mechanism. So see you soon. Until then, goodbye. Thank you and all the best.